Suffering a serious injury in a public place or building can be devastating, and the last thing you need when you're injured is trouble navigating the compensation system, which is why I want to highlight public liability claims and run through some tips which will hopefully give you guidance. Before establishing whether you can make a public liability claim, you must first understand what it specifically refers to. Public liability claims are for injuries that occur in public places or buildings, including rental properties, that arise as a result of the negligence on the part of the owner or occupier, such as the owner of a shopping centre. These claims exist because they have a responsibility to you as a member of the public to put measures in place to protect your safety. This is known as their duty of care. And by measures, I mean things like putting up wet floor signs to ensure you don't slip over, or inspecting the floor to remove trip hazards. Now, if the owner or occupier hasn't taken reasonable steps to protect your safety and you suffer an injury, then there's a good chance that you'll be eligible to make a claim. Public liability claim examples include slips due to spillages and wet surfaces, trips from hazards or obstructions, or injuries that arise from faulty equipment or facilities. So how do you achieve a successful public liability claim? In order to do so, there are two things you have to prove. Firstly, your accident could have been avoided if the owner or occupier had taken reasonable steps to prevent it. And secondly, that you suffered loss as a result of your injuries. Now, it's important to note that not all injuries that occur in a public place or building will result in a successful public liability claim. For example, when dealing with slips and spillages in a shopping centre, how long the liquid had been on the floor is critical. If a spill occurred only moments before you came along and injured yourself, then that claim may not be successful because it could be difficult to prove that the owner had enough time to clean the spill or hazard before the injury occurred. Compare that to an example where the liquid had been on the floor for quite some time before someone came along and injured themselves. We successfully represented a client who had significant injuries when she slipped in a shopping centre. When she came to us, we did some investigating, we obtained the CCTV footage, got the cleaning records and other evidence which established that the liquid had been on the floor for a significant amount of time. We were able to prove that the cleaners had ample opportunity to clean the spill before she hurt herself. In the end, we obtained all the compensation that she's entitled to, which helped her and her family move forward from the accident. Hopefully, this has been helpful to you. But if you're still unsure about public liability compensation or need help with your claim, call Law Partners and have a confidential conversation with one of our specialist public liability lawyers today.